Samir was so tiny that he looked smaller than his feeding bottle. But even with such a fragile body, he carried the fierce heart of a lion. He demanded his blanket, made his own rules, and let out the tiniest roars to show exactly what he wanted. His mom, Linda, was always ready to give in to him because she remembered the time when the odds had been stacked against him. It all began with a video that Linda saw online. Someone had stumbled upon a group of abandoned kittens on the street. Their mother was nowhere to be found, and the babies needed urgent help. Linda rushed over as quickly as she could, hoping to save them all. But by the time she arrived, only 2 of the kittens had survived the night. She took them in right away and got them the medical care they needed. The first few days at the vet were heartbreaking. The kittens were weak, and no one knew if they would make it. Slowly, one more faded, leaving only a single fighter clinging to life. That tiny survivor was Samir. Samir was fragile, smaller than most newborns, but he showed early on that he wasn't ready to give up. Linda refused to give up on him too. She carefully fed him, making sure his belly was never empty. She wrapped him in warm blankets and watched his every move, determined to give him a real chance. And soon, Samir began to reveal who he truly was. His little voice became louder. He demanded his meals right away and wouldn't stop until he got them. He growled over his blanket as if it were his crown. Despite his size, he took charge of the whole house. What started as a fight for survival slowly turned into a show of personality. But then came another twist. Linda found another lost kitten who also needed a home. She named her Yasmina. Samir had never seen another kitten before. At first, it was awkward. He didn't quite know what to make of this new arrival. Yasmina was shy but curious. She followed him, studied him, and slowly began to settle in. For Samir, the change was big. He had gone from being the only little king in the house to suddenly having to share his space. At first, he wasn't sure how to handle it. But as the days passed, he started to accept her. He even began letting her boss him around sometimes, which surprised everyone. For the first time, Samir wasn't just the fighter. He became a big brother and protector. Linda watched with joy as the 2 kittens grew closer. Samir still had his strong personality, but Yasmina brought out a softer side in him. He guarded her, played with her, and allowed her into his little kingdom. Their bond became so strong that it was hard to imagine one without the other. Looking at Samir today, it's hard to believe how small and weak he once was. He started life as the tiniest kitten, fighting just to survive each day. But with Linda's care, he grew stronger. His fur became brighter. His voice became louder. His playful side took over, and his once fragile body became full of energy. Samir is now the boss of the house. He struts around with confidence, claiming every corner as his own. He plays fiercely, eats heartily, and naps wherever he chooses. Yasmina follows his lead, but every now and then, he steps aside and lets her wear the crown too. Together, they rule their little world with love and mischief. Linda often looks back and thinks about that first video, the abandoned kittens left to survive on their own. She still remembers the sadness of losing the others and the fear of almost losing Samir. But now she sees him strong, bold, and happy, and she knows it was worth every effort. Samir may be small, but his heart is big. He was never meant to be just another stray forgotten on the streets. He was meant to be saved, to grow, to lead, and to share his life with a sister he never knew he needed. Stories like Samir's remind us of something important. Sometimes the smallest and weakest ones are the strongest fighters. Sometimes the ones we least expect end up showing us the most courage. And sometimes giving love to an abandoned animal doesn't just change their life, it changes ours too. If Samir's story touched your heart, give this video a like. Tell us your own rescue story in the comments. And remember, even sharing this video can help more animals like Samir and Yasmina find the love and family they deserve.